Greeny, you are a man who was good at almost everything. Can you explain this to us here?
So, this was Chris Long's charity event, and someone just handed me a club, Greeny. I wasn't even out there to play. Look, I got on jeans, and then he handed me a club that's for little people. That's not a 6-foot man's golf club. And then somebody must have blew the ball or something as I was trying to, but you know what? This shows you that you don't have to be great at everything to be good at something.
Yeah.
And so for all you people who can't play golf, don't worry about it. It's a freaking hard game.
Yeah, or on the reverse side, there's one thing I'm better than you at. I finally found one thing. Okay, NFL draft starts tomorrow. RC, let's put you to work at the things you're very good at. Let's play a game called Who You Got, all right? Star receivers at the top. You got Maserati Marv or Malik Neighbors?
I have Malik Neighbors, and I know people are going to say that he's an LSU homer, but I've watched this kid progress throughout his career at LSU. Think Amon-Ra St. Brown with 4.35 speed. Think about Jamar Chase, whose measurables are
together. Who you got, Drake May or J.J. McCarthy?
I got Drake May. And listen, one, because I've seen Drake May carry a team. I saw the North Carolina Tar Heels put the football in his hands and say, we are only going to go as far as you can take us. And I do believe he has the most untapped potential of any quarterback that's in this draft. He seems to be the forgotten man from a sense of the media standpoint, but I know teams are very high on his talent and his upside.
And then how about the top two in most people's opinion? Caleb or Jaden, who you got?
Caleb Williams. Listen, Caleb Williams, from the time that he took over for Spencer Rattler when he was at Oklahoma, has been an absolute star. He's gone above and beyond the X's and O's, and I believe he's made Lincoln Riley look better at both Oklahoma and USC. This kid can make every throw on the field, and then there are some throws that only he and maybe Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen can make.
Well, everyone has weighed in on that decision, but ultimately there's only one person whose opinion matters, and that is Ryan Poles, the general manager of the Bears. And he was talking this week about what has his team leaning towards Caleb as they make that decision.
Came across as a really good teammate, easy to talk to, down to earth. We've talked through this process about the whole Hollywood thing. He's all ball, wants to work, wants to get better, wants to win as a team. That's the number one thing for him, on top of being successful. I think the biggest thing is, does he fit in our culture and what we're trying to do? And all signs were that he does. So that was positive.
So, look, we all know that that's the direction that one is going.
Yeah.
You had him on the pivot recently. Yeah. Give me the one thing that stood out the most to you.
Maturity. And I feel like we've been trying to make this kid immature. We've been trying to make this young man someone who couldn't lead a locker room. He was so self-aware. He understood perceptions and how he could move with his actions in order to affect those things. This is also a young man that had his own apartment in high school. We've never heard of Caleb Williams doing things late nights that he shouldn't be doing things away from the football field that he shouldn't be doing. And I think we've built this narrative up about him that he isn't the sort of person that could fit in with professional football players. And I believe that's absolutely wrong. The other thing that stood out to me, he said in the 8th grade, he went to his father and said, I want to be a quarterback. I don't want to play all these other positions people try to make me play. He said from that point of his life, he had a regimen, whether it was nutritionist, whether it was training, a certain way that he had to work and live in order to be where he is. He was prepared for this moment, and I believe that matters.
What do you think of this? It's a huge situation here because there are a lot of quarterbacks in this draft. The Bears made a decision to move away from one who many people believe has a lot of potential, and he walks into a team that wasn't the worst in the NFL last year. So there will be expectations on him immediately.
Absolutely, but I mean, listen, if you're Caleb Williams, what a great situation to possibly be walking into in Chicago. I mean, think about it. I can't even remember a number one pick having the type of infrastructure that the Chicago Bears is going to be giving him from day one, whether you're talking about offensive line, which, it's a pretty good offensive line. You're talking about DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, the list goes on and on. The Chicago Bears have really done a really good job of using their assets to really form this team around this potential number one quarterback. And I mean, listen, you've heard me rave about Minnesota Vikings. Chicago Bears is a really
But
good team.
isn't that what you're supposed to do, though? Like, Greeny, when you found out that you were going to be a father, you didn't tell your wife, hey, let's not do nothing in preparation, and then when the baby gets here, let's wing it. Right. No, you're going to make sure you have the crib. You're going to set up the room. You're going to make sure you have what it takes in order to raise the child properly. That's what the Chicago Bears have done.
Finally.
They understood that they had this pick, and they had an opportunity to have a young man be successful.
Let me get Shefty in here because, Adam, they not only are choosing Caleb Williams ahead of Jaden Daniels and Drake May, but also ahead of Justin Fields, who was right there, and they could have made that decision. Take me through their decision process best we know it.
Well, listen, I think the Chicago Bears felt like it was time to move forward, and you had to make a decision on Justin Fields, where basically it's a situation where there's a fifth-year option that you have to pick up or not pick up, and it's $25 million, and the Bears were not going to do that, and so they traded him to the Pittsburgh Steelers because they wanted to give him a fresh start. Pittsburgh was interested in him. He was interested in Pittsburgh, and they decided to give him that start, competing with Russell Wilson. Oh, by the way, the Steelers aren't expected to pick up the fifth-year option, so that means that Justin Fields and Russell Wilson both will be in the last year of their deals in Pittsburgh.
That's Adam Schefter battling through all kinds of technical issues.
Hey, Adam, slung that IMB
in Detroit. He is ready to go. All right, as we continue, more from the hoops, more from the football. I'm sorry, what?
Tomorrow, something everyone's thankful for, up to and including our draft analyst, Matt Miller, who is live in Detroit. He's been grinding to the very last minute. So, Matt, your final mock draft coming out this afternoon. Give us a little bit of a teaser. Which draft pick do you believe will be traded first here?
Yeah, not a ton of spoilers here with you, David, but I'll give you this one. I think the first draft pick traded, I look at the Los Angeles Chargers at number 5 overall, moving out. The Minnesota Vikings, a team that added that second first-round pick at number 23 overall about 6 weeks ago, moving up to number 5 overall. That allows Minnesota to get quarterback J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. He is an ideal fit for what Minnesota wants to do. They have the best receiver in football in Justin Jefferson. Don't forget last year's rookie, Jordan Addison, had a great year as well. They have 2 very good bookend offensive tackles. Oh, and they added Aaron Jones in the backfield from the rival Green Bay Packers. So this is an offense where they really set the table great for a rookie quarterback to come in. We know how great McCarthy is at managing the game. He lost 1 game in college. He lost 2 games in high school. Yeah, the guy's lost 3 games in the last 7 years. So he is ready to take the role as a franchise quarterback in Minnesota. Sam Darnold's there, but I think JJ is a player that the more we get closer to the draft, you hear he's going to go in the top 6 picks. I think the Vikings make that move with picks 11 and 23 to go get him.
All right, there you go. The last time the Vikings, by the way, took a quarterback in the first round, Christian Ponder, back in 2011. Speaking of trades, always fun to fantasize, teams wheeling and dealing on draft night. How do you see the trade market tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think we see that one in the top 10, and then I expect it to get pretty quiet. What's interesting about this draft is it's very heavy at the top with great prospects. That means teams are not going to be incentivized to move out, especially if we see 4 quarterbacks go in the top 5. Teams traditionally do not trade up for non-quarterback players. I know we saw that last year with Will Anderson Jr. and Paris Johnson in the top 10. This year, a little bit different. I expect teams to hold tight and select the best player on the board. If you're the Atlanta Falcons at 8, maybe you pick up the phone for a team that wants to move up and get one of the wide receivers ahead of the Chicago Bears. But otherwise, I expect a pretty quiet top 10. We're going to see the 10 minutes come off the clock for each team because there are great players sitting at each of those spots.
All right, top-heavy draft. You can read Matt's mock draft later this afternoon.